Well, hello again, Bob's Barn Workshop fans and friends. This van has been giving me a no start. You knew that. By the way, happy holidays, Merry Christmas. New Year's is just a few days away. We're in between Christmas and New Year's now. This has been giving me that no start. I'm thinking maybe humidity, whatever. She runs pretty crappy, although she did just start up. Took a lot of jumping around. Oil pressure, look at it. Good engine. Going close to 50 pounds at idle. Got a break today, it's 50 degrees, so I'm going to change out that cap and rotor. I'm not going to show you all that. I need to pull all the plugs off and unscrew the distributor cap, put the new rotor in. We'll see if she runs a little bit. I'm going to change the plugs and wires. So let me work on that, and because you guys have seen that. If you want to see that done, there's lots of guys doing it. We'll see if we can get it. Of course, working on these vans, you got to be really careful. I'm working on taking the Torx screws out of these. Let's see what size are they. That's a T20 and holding the distributor. You got to be really careful not to drop those screws. So I'm going to set the camera down and we'll try. Well, I got the distributor off, the cap off, and you can see crusties in there and really badly corroded terminals, which of course would limit arcing a little bit. Gently pulling the wires. These are easy to put back on actually, because they're loomed up in the right order for one thing, the wires coming in. And this side on the right is a 2, 4, 6, and on this side it's just these two are switched. It's a 3, 1, 5, and of course that lone one going into the center is the coil wire. So let me work on this a little more, and we'll get her apart. I'm going to try it with just the distributor and rotor changed for now. And I have plugs and wires, so to do that I have to jack the front of the van way up and take the front wheels off and take the shrouds out of the wheel wells so you can reach the damn plugs. I bought some fancy pliers to pull the plug covers off. I'll show you those later. Alright, I got the rotor off. And I don't know how well you can see. There's a lot of crust and crud in there. I'm going to get a brush and some alcohol, and I'm going to clean that out. Look at the rust on that thing. Not a big deal. This distributor, the rotor can only go on one way, and that would be pointing to like 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 1 o'clock. So I'm going to get that cleaned out. Definitely got humidity problems. I don't know if I'm supposed to put any kind of sealer on that or not. Maybe if I just put silicone grease on it. Alright. Gonna brush it. Alright, well, I got the new distributor cap and rotor installed, and it seems nice and tight. And let's just see if she'll run. Well, it definitely seems smoother. But the original wires that come from GM have the number markings on them, which to me indicates that they've never been changed. The distributor cap that was on there was a piece of junk. Aftermarket. Don't use aftermarket. Use Delco. ACDelco parts. Don't go cheap. And you'll have better success. Now, it's going to get cold and humid again. But I think I'm going to change those plugs, which means jacking the whole car up. And we'll see if I can get them off. If I can't, I'll have to take it to the shop and let the professionals do it. But right now she runs just as smooth as satin, so that's a good thing. Alright guys, I guess I'll jack her up. I got a new toy for Christmas, one of those new DeWalt cordless, the highest power half-inch electric impact wrench that they make. So I should be able to get my spark plugs off in Jiffy. I'll show you how that works. So my son-in-law loaned me his spark voltage tester, which is really a very simple device. It's just a little plastic tube with a couple of screws in there, and you can see the arcing shows that it's getting at least 30,000 volts, and it's running even with a... I did change the main coil wire to the distributor, and that made a lot of difference. I'm going to try to wipe off around the top of that coil on the top of the coil. I think that might be one of the reasons. Why I was getting some arcing or something, but now it looks like I've got full voltage. Alright, one more. Alright fans, I'm going to try out the new DeWalt. Now I'm going to put this on low speed because I just want to back these out. These are brand new caps that I put on here, and that's not the right size. Let's see, what do I got here? 7/8. That looks like the deal. Alright, now we're just going to touch these off, because these are plastic caps. I usually just put those on finger tight using the big socket. I gotta buff these. She's a little weathered. Alright, I'm just gonna loosen a few of these before I jack it up. Look at that. I had these torqued to 100. And I always loosen them up good before I jack and try to take them off. And I've got it on the lowest speed. That's the lowest torque setting. She's supposed to produce 1200 in reverse torque. Here's an old crusty, rusty one. I was going to buy an air compressor and do all that junk, but I didn't need to. I'm going to put these back, just touching. What do you think? 300 bucks with the charger and the battery, but you can't buy a good air compressor for that, and this is going to do everything I need. I got one of the smaller DeWalts. You've seen me use the 1/4 inch drive. Works with everything up to 1/2 inch. This is a beast. As I said, I've got it on the lowest setting. Oh no, I actually have it on the highest setting. I lied. Alright. I'm going to do the other side. I know you guys have heard this a million times. Whenever you're going to work under, near, anyway, you're going to be sticking on your head under a vehicle, always use a great jack, a couple of heavy-duty jack stands. I guess you could use 3-ton ones for this, but I've got the 6-ton ones. I like the wider base, and sometimes if I'm getting right under the car, I'm paranoid. I put 4. I put 2 behind each wheel. Maybe I'll still do that with my 3-tons. And the other thing is, this is a little bit of a downhill slant. Always chock your wheels. You don't want to be able to push it off, and then give the vehicle a good shake. Make sure nothing creaks or rattles or sounds like it's squeaking or slipping, because metal on metal can slip. Alright, I'm going to pull these wheels off. Yeah, another thing I want to mention here, and another thing I like about this van is you see the size of the hole in that wheel? This is called a load-bearing hub, which means the wheel is not hanging by the 5 bolts. The weight is all borne by that hole and the diameter of this hub right here. The wheel lug nuts just hold her in position. And I know some of these aftermarket wheels, those holes aren't tight and they want to slap around a little bit. But just a clue, you can tell she's been sitting a while, a little rust on that, but they're brand new. What we got to do next is we have got to get this skirt off. And if you look way the heck up in there, you can see, barely, I don't know how I'm going to get that back one. You can see the plugs almost. Let's see. Can I see that back one? Oh yeah, I think I can get it with a wobble. It's gonna be fun though, gonna be a hoot. But we gotta give it a try. Alright, I'll get this, I got that special little pry tool to get those studs out to get this skirt off in here. That protects the water from flying up all over your engine, you know. All right. As you can see, I gotta take you off the base here. Sorry, I accidentally pushed some kind of button. But that rear plug is right up in there above that manifold. The second one doesn't look too bad. As I said, a long wobble extension. To getting the wires off is going to be the hard part, but I bought some sexy pliers at Harbor Freight that have a long needle nose, and then they're bent almost 90 degrees with a loop on the end, so you can get a hold of stuff like that. I'm wondering if I should hit those with some WD-40. Anyway, I'll give that a try. So I'm going to shoot a little WD-40 up around these guys. Hopefully, I was able to pull that number 5 boot off from inside the engine cover. It's right there at fingertip level. It's just underneath the lip of the engine cover. These other two should come out fine. I'm not going to move the wires yet until I do them one at a time. All right. Let's see if I can get a plug wrench on. All right, well, this is working great. I was able to get the hardest one out with the wobble extension. The hardest one in the van. So that's a good thing. I just wanted to show you how I got my wobble on here. And reach way in. Get it on there. I think she does. She is. Come on, get on there, baby. There she comes. Nasty old plug. And they use cheap plugs too, by the way. So they used crap plugs. The new plugs I bought are the Platinums. And I am going to do all I can. I'm going to put some of the silicone lube onto the socket first, and onto the spark plug, and see if I can get it right up in there. I gotta wash this socket out that I use because it's got WD-40 all through it now, of course. But I see the rubber thing is missing in here. Now they say one of the easier ways to do this is to take a piece of rubber hose and use that to reach in and get them started in the hole. But I don't have a piece that big, but I can see the holes now, so I'm just going to have to kind of work them up through there. Alright, well, I got to go get my plugs, and I need to gap them at 60 thousandths, so that'll take a few minutes. I want to show you guys something. I don't want to get the flashlight in front of the boy, but if you look really carefully, you can see myself. You see the hole near the bottom of the picture. You'll see the spark plug hole. If I raise this up a little bit, okay, there he is. So I can get up in there. And I'm just trying to get an eyeball view of where I think it wants to go. I think the WD-40 was a good idea too, because it kind of wet down the dirt that might be around the hole. So I'm going to give getting that a try. I won't be able to leave the camera where it is, I don't think. Maybe I'll give it a try. Pause. So here we go. I'm going to be right in front of you, I'm afraid. I got to snake it right up. I think I can lift it up enough. There we go. And he should be right up in there. And it seems like it's straightened out the socket. Thank goodness for wobble extensions, huh? loaded, do I? Oh no, she's right in the hole. And I'm almost all the way down. Alright, now I just got to tighten her up. Get up on top of there, boy. Alright. That's the problem with the wobbles, though. They wobble the wrong way. Maybe. There we go. I think I need a long screwdriver. Sorry, I just reached in with another long extension and pushed that socket over. I got the plug in there good. Well, and I'm going to change out these plugs. Now you can see the dang clip is right there for that first plug. I'm not sure how you release those. There's the last plug, but I know it goes on the distributor. It goes 315. So one is in the middle. So the first front cylinder has to go in the middle. And so I think I'm going to change one first. I just got to get those clips off. So I got that first number 1 plug wire out. And the hardest part is if you see the little bitty clip thing right down in there. It's hard to see. That thing. It had the wire clipped in it. Hard to reach from here, hard to reach from the bottom. But I finally got a screwdriver jammed in it and popped it open. So now I'm just going to put a little silicone inside each of these boots before I put them on. Special dielectric grease that comes for spark plug boots. Keeps them from, I think, arcing, and it keeps them from sticking. So I'm going to do that with a little Q-tip here. Sorry guys, I'm bouncing you around a lot. I bought some dielectric grease from the auto store and put a little dablet inside the distributor boot, and I'm going to put a little more inside the spark plug. And I'm doing this with Q-tips. I'm not rubbing it on with my grubby fingers. Notice. Get that up in there good. This one's not going to be too hard to get on either. Alright. Now, as this thing was rooted, it was rooted back behind those 2 wires. And down through that clip and onto the plug. So for now I'm just going to drop it over the top of that. I'm going to bring her back up. I'm going to stick her on the distributor chair. Oh yeah, baby. Pop it back into the holders here and in the center here. And this was just a couple of inches longer. I'll see if I can get it on the one down there. I got my special goober pliers here. Bought these at Harbor Freight for 15 bucks for a set of 3, but I think they're going to be really useful. But this one I think I can reach. Yeah, I can reach this one. So we just slide that right on the end of that dude. Like that. Didn't hear a pop though. Maybe it did go. Gosh, it's pushed on there awful hard. I'll take a look at the other side when I get a chance. Alright. Let's get that guy clipped to the front clip. Usually you get a pretty distinctive pop when they snap onto the connector. I'm going to need 2 hands for this. Sorry I didn't really show you too much of this because it's just too much waggling around with the camera, but you can see I got the new wires are all on, and they're all loomed perfectly with new ACDelco premium wires all the way down. They had crappy plugs too. I put double platinums in, and now we have to do the same process on the other side. But that side's supposed to be a lot easier. I'm going to do a little test fire right now just to make sure I don't have to take this thing apart again. So here we go. Oh, nice. I love it. I need this thing to run. I want to use it for my band gear. All right, and do the other side. Same process. Just wanted to show you guys this. This is the passenger side on the Astro van, and look, you can see the spark plugs. Obviously, the driver's side is the worst. I already hit them with a little WD-40, and luckily there's not a lot of debris around the holes at all. The engine's pretty clean, so I'm not worried about getting a lot of goop in there. I reached up in there with my long Harbor Freight grippy pliers. Got the plug wires off with these, so that was awesome. So now I'm just going to crank them all there and put the new ones in. So I guess you guys don't want to see that. I just wanted to show you. I actually had to pry this off, and I used one of these. You've seen me use this before. You slide it up underneath the rubber mat, though. Don't try to pull the head. You'll just pull the heads off. You got to get underneath the rubber mat with this tool to get it off. And I see this has been undercoated. Really, the body's not in too bad a shape. The frame is what's really rusty, but it is what it is. All right, just FYI, here's the little rig I used. A couple of other wobble extensions, my 5/8 socket I've had for my whole life, and the speed crank. The speed crank had plenty of torque to get the plugs out, so they weren't in there super tight and plugged up. But you're gonna need something that long, because she's kind of way up in there. I can reach the plug holes on this side better. The engine is actually offset in an Astro to the right about 6 inches, so it's closer to this side. All right, it's starting to rain a little. I gotta put you away. Just gotta speed this up a little bit because she's getting ready to rain. It's gonna be the same process as the other side. I've already gapped the plugs. Just a smidge of anti-seize. Just enough to fill in the top threads here. Not that I don't want anything near the combustion chamber. And I want these nice and clean. So after I handle them, I am going to clean off the porcelain and put that dude right in there. I'm going to try the hard one first. I think he's going. A lot of turns because it's a very long plug. I think he's in the bottom. I'm going to look to make sure he doesn't look cross-threaded or anything. And he looks like he's nearly seated. Looks perfect. That was next to the hardest one. Alright, the plug socket right up on there. And we'll give him a reef. Alright, again, we still have to change the plug wires, but those plugs come right out. I put them on my little speedy spinner here and backed them right out. Another smidge of anti-seize. Porcelain's still nice and clean on this. The least I touch it, the better. Oh, it's in the hole. There she goes. As far as that went in, I know it's straight. All right, one more. These are going in pretty quick, ain't they, dudes? All right. Don't forget your dielectric grease on the boots when you go to assemble this, though. Alright, where's my rag? There's my rag. Okay. I want to wipe my hands and the porcelain off. Handle it only by the metal. There's still some alcohol in here, because if you saw the mess I made when I spilled nearly a pint of isopropyl alcohol on the floor of the van, that wasn't cool. Okay, she went right straight to the hole. Make sure she looks straight. Yeah? Oh yeah, she's right in there. No, it's okay. Come on. The lovely wife. That's nothing. Alright. Now to put the plug wires on. Now this one's pretty easy. I got the first wire now through here. And he goes. I can reach these. I've got to pull some of the slack back though, because I just don't want that rubbing right there. We'll shove that up. Like that. We'll deal with the slack up above. Alright, that's the first one. So I got that new wire dropped down there for the second. Actually, that's 2-4. That's cylinder 4. And I know you're probably just seeing the back of my head. Sorry. I can reach these by hand. I'd like to pull those up some, but I don't want them laying on the heat shields either, you know. Let's see what I got inside. I really don't want that sticking out like that either. Can I move it? Oh yeah, okay. What if I tilt it up like that? Oh, that's the wrong way to do it. What if I move it out a little bit? I don't want to rub it on the engine cover, you know. Let's see what it looks like underneath. Yeah, that's awful. They're the same length wires. What am I doing wrong? I'm gonna have to loop them or something up there. Bring that one out like so. Alright, the front one's gotta pull up. The second one's not too bad. That one front one's gotta go back up. Yes. Oh, I know why. Duh. They both gotta come up quite a bit. They gotta go down through this other hole there. That's where the slag goes. Alright. A little better. I know use the right wires. Alright. Sorry, you guys can't see me, but I'm taking out the 5th wire. And there's only one little short one left, so it's got to be it. Alright, I'm going to put you on hold. Down to the last one. He's way back up in there. I got to get the flashlight. Well, I've been contemplating getting this done. Oh, there he is. Perfect. And there's the wire. And I've already got some gunk on the end of that. I put a little bit of silicone grease, or the dielectric grease, in there. It's just like, too tight for my hand. There you go. Now push. I heard that one click. The other one on the other side was a little dicier. These look good over here now. They're not touching nothing. You think? All right. Took you off the stand. Now, I got to figure out the best way to loom these guys up. That guy goes in the top. That one's in the middle. This guy has his own little loop right there. So, I don't know. Now, it's a possibility that I may have gotten a wire switch that should have been on the other side, but the links, you know, these were all a little bit longer, so I had to kind of deal with that. But that one looks good too. I'm gonna pull his. Now what I do? Cheap flashlights. All right. Got light again. Got light again. I'm just looking down through here. Make sure these aren't going to rub on anything. This engine doesn't jump around. The next thing I want to do though, see how cruddy that coil area, top of that coil is. I'm just going to put some alcohol on a clean rag and wipe that off and silicone up these things, and we'll be done. So I'm going to get some rags. Alright. Well, here we go. My battery pack says it's dead. I don't know if I'm recording or not, but plugs are in, wires are routed. Got to put this thing back together. Let's do a quick zoom test here. Zoom test. How sweet it is. Alright guys, I gotta charge the battery. Alright guys and gals, I'm sorry your battery went dead. By the way, the new auto floor mat protection mat for the garage floor is working marvelously. Normally the carpets and everything here at the foot of the stairs are soaking and soggy from the dripping snow. This catches it all. You can see the puddles and stuff. And when it dries up, all the dirt and sand is still on there. But what I'm excited about is the van. I got that finished up, and she's running like a charm. Look at this. Purrs like a kitten. So hopefully my electronic tune-up was all she needed. Boy, does it smell like alcohol in here. Yeah, when I was doing the job I spilled about a pint of isopropyl alcohol in here. I'm going to leave the rest of the engine cover off here until I verify this is going to run. I need some cold, soggy days to come. It's 54 right now, so that's not the kind of temperatures that this wasn't running well on anyway, so that's not a really good storyteller right now. But we will find out pretty soon. Alrighty, well, I just want to let you know that she's running. I was able to finish the job, got her all down on the ground. Lug nuts all torqued. And I hope you guys have a great New Year's, and and enjoy these videos, because I always try to get these things slice of life. I try to do my videos real time, because a lot of these guys edit so much stuff out, they make it look like a breeze, when in reality I like to show how much of a big pain some of this stuff really is to do, busting your knuckles and all that, and hard to reach bolts, all that, and the tools I use to do it. So you know, if you like them short, I might not be the guy, but if you like to see how it works and the real things you have to do, then I'll show you how to do it. Alright guys, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. We'll catch you later. Bob's Barn Workshop.